All right, some big breaking news. We are learning right now that Senator Mitch McConnell, who we've been chasing for weeks now, who has been in the hospital for at least 3 weeks, is reportedly brain dead. Now, we are getting this information from a source that would likely know because she's well connected with Republicans and the MAGA movement. And this is an ongoing problem that is currently developing. There is one reporter who has been tracking this entire thing for a very long time, and she is asking the right questions. Like, who is running Mitch McConnell's office? Before we get to that, I just want to point out that it took until June 22nd for his staff to even acknowledge that McConnell would not be voting that week, offering no details about his medical condition. And we didn't even know about this EMS call that we did a video about a couple of weeks ago until it broke through the reporting. They didn't tell us that Mitch McConnell was found unconscious, that he likely had a heart attack. Now, his staff is saying the following: Senator McConnell is still working closely with staff on Senate business in Kentucky matters as he continues to recover. However, he will not be voting this week. So if that is like, okay, because the stuff I'm about to show you is crazy. So that's his spokesperson, David Popp, who said that Mitch McConnell is recovering and working closely with the staff. But what we're hearing from Laura Loomer is a total opposite. Now, after the Kentucky senator's near-fatal medical emergency made headlines, his team is still declining to provide any additional details about McConnell's condition. The Daily Beast asked a series of questions about McConnell's health. Is Senator McConnell in a hospital or other medical facility? If not, when did he leave? Have members of McConnell's staff spoken to him since he was found unconscious? What diagnosis or diagnoses has Senator McConnell received? But his spokesperson has not responded at all. After publication, McConnell's team did respond, saying the following: Senator McConnell appreciates the outpouring of support he's receiving while he continues his recovery in the hospital. The senator continues to improve and is working closely with staff on Kentucky and Senate matters while the Senate is out of session. All right, that's great. Is that true? I don't think so. Can Mitch McConnell do a quick video to his constituents, let us know that he's okay? Can they take a picture of Mitch McConnell working from his hospital? I don't think so. You know why? Because if Laura Loomer is to be believed, she says here, high-level source close to the White House tells me Mitch McConnell is officially brain dead. He's not coming back. So this is a huge unfolding crisis. This is obviously a major cover-up. His staff absolutely needs to be held accountable if this is true. It might not be true. But Laura Loomer, I'm going to show you, quite often gets these things right when it comes to reporting on what's going on with Republicans. Now, someone wrote here, if this is true, and I have no idea it is exactly the disgraceful end to Mitch McConnell, his disgusting consultants covering up his end of life that we should all have all expected. Frankly, also every single person who currently knows for sure the status of Mitch McConnell, if this is true, should never work in politics again. There should be a massive criminal investigation into this as well. I don't know what crimes potentially may have been committed here, but certainly if you're withholding information like this from the public and constituents, that feels like it's criminal. Also, what we're learning too is that they very well, he might be on life support. Like they literally could pull the plug and he died, right? And I believe it's like August 8th. We're going to do another video on this that gives the facts correctly. But early August, there's a date that if Mitch McConnell can make it that long, then they don't have to do a special election. And if they don't have to do a special election, then the House and the Senate in Kentucky can pick the next senator. You understand? So they're trying to prevent there from being a primary. It could be. We don't know. According to his staff, he's fine. But if he's not fine and he is brain dead, as Laura Loomer is reporting, then the reason why they're keeping him around and not telling us what's going on is so that they can, for Mitch McConnell's final act, do another corrupt maneuver to keep the people from expressing their power at the in elections. Now, just to put a fine point in this, Laura Loomer quite often not right or not wrong when it comes to reporting on Republicans. She said with Tulsi Gabbard that she was going to leave. She was right. She said the same thing about Pam Bondi. She said she reported that Pam Bondi was on the way out, and then that turned out to be true. Here's Laura Loomer talking about that scoop. More Laura Loomer. And here is a list of all those senators on the Senate Rules Committee: Mitch McConnell, Ted Cruz, Shelley Moore, Roger Wicker, Deb Fischer, Bill Hagerty, Katie Britt. They have to know his status, start calling. So these are Republican senators you can call, and you can start to haggle to try to get information from them. Now, here is what Mitch McConnell's neighbor is saying.
Everything happened. I didn't see him come out, but
you saw the paramedics here?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen any family? No family has come?
I haven't seen anyone coming or going from there.
Yeah, because I know his Capitol Police Detail, they're over at the hospital, so I just thought So his wife, Elaine Chao, was found in China 3 days after he went into cardiac arrest. So we're trying to figure out where she is. It doesn't look like she has come back to the house. So I was wondering, have you seen her at all?
No, I haven't seen anyone.
Oh my God. Can you explain what happened?
I have to go to work.
Oh yeah, sorry. Have a great day. Thank you for your help.
Amazing. I had to just shout her out. This is Desiree Townsend. She is on X, cheering for change. I'm going to follow her right now. She is the only one on this beat, reporting on it relentlessly. And this is what we need more of. So I just want to give a quick shout out to her. She is truly going above and beyond on this. Someone wrote, I'm going to need Leader Thune to step up and step in. This has reached Tom Keene level of ridiculousness. We really just need to know what's going on with Mitch McConnell. Now, she also gave a report asking this really important question. If Mitch McConnell's not there, then who's running the office?
Desiree Townsend here again at Capitol Hill to address all of the social media questions regarding why they, whoever they are, I'm assuming most people are referring to the Republicans, that they are somehow hiding McConnell's health or potentially keeping him alive if he is in fact on life support. So for context, the likelihood that Senator McConnell is on life support in some way, shape, or form is actually supported by multiple studies, which puts the 30-day survival rate of an 80-year-old after an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest, now mind you, he was found at his home, at less than 5%. Now, you need to understand who they are. See, Senator Mitch McConnell has a lot of enemies. He is not well liked by people on both sides of the aisle. In fact, the lack of disclosed health information and him potentially still being in the hospital on life support has actually united this country in shared outrage. Republicans want him removed because he kept blocking the SAVE Act. Democrats don't like him because he previously stacked the Supreme Court. And it doesn't appear as if he had much support from President Trump either, based on past Truth Social remarks. So with that in mind, they really is just one person, his wife. And largely, this is also based on the law. It's very likely he had either an advance directive or a living will. Even without either one of these legal documents, nearly all of end-of-life decisions typically fall on the spouse in almost every state. So when everyone says there is really only one person in my mind, and that is Elaine Chao. Now let's get to a motive. Working in litigation, I always try to understand what motivates a defendant. Going back to the Republicans and even the Democrats, there's no motivation to keep him alive on life support. Both the Republicans and Democrats would fare far better if life support was pulled and a special election was called immediately. In fact, the more time they both have to prepare for a special election, the better. Waiting until August 3rd doesn't help either party. So now let's look at the motive of Elaine Chao. One could argue that maybe she wants to keep McConnell alive because she loves him. But that idea falls flat on his face, because instead of flying back to be at his bedside after his cardiac arrest, she took a meeting 3 days later with
China. We did a whole short on this. I'm going to link it below.
The vice president of China. The plausible motive that I have landed on is that she's out for pure chaos. President Trump likely hates her. Most Republicans are pissed with McConnell for blocking the SAVE Act. Democrats hate him because of the Supreme Court confirmations. So the only people that a prolonged delay of a special election really benefits are the People's Republic of China, which could be why Elaine was perhaps in there in China on June 17th, maybe potentially trying to secure a position of power in the Chinese government, because the chaos of keeping McConnell on life support, if he is in fact on life support based on the abysmal cardiac arrest stats for an 84-year-old, would impact our economy if we cannot pass appropriation bills in September. So when looking at the motive of the likely suspects and who they could be, I keep coming back to Elaine Chao and perhaps even the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. And you don't believe me? How come we haven't seen really a single politician on the right or on the left outraged right now? Because I think, like many of us, we're all in utter disbelief that perhaps an agent for the CCP may have been running a sitting U.S. Senator's office. Now, keep in mind, Elaine Chao, when she did hold a government position, she was accused of abusing her power in that office. So stay tuned for more as I head back to the hospital soon for a week 3 plus 1 day update on Senator Mitch McConnell.
Damn, that's fucking nuts, bro. Desiree Townsend here again. That is crazy. 100% believe it. It just sounds right to me. Sounds right, doesn't it? Now, interestingly, Mitch McConnell's daughter, Porter McConnell, no longer is on X. Her account is gone, and she used to be very active criticizing her father and Republicans, especially during the Kavanaugh hearings. Makes you wonder, why was she asked to stay quiet while his health is being kept under wraps for potential inheritance, or is it just all coincidence, just like Elaine Chao flying to China? Thomas Massey came out swinging and said, "Is America ready for my term limit legislation titled 3 strokes and you're out?" Now, this is what Senator John Kennedy was asked.
A lot of times we do not have bipartisan support. So we just heard that Senator Mitch McConnell will not be back this week.
Right.
What is the plan if he's unable to return and we now have 12 appropriations, fiscal year 2027 appropriation bills to get through? And
it just depends on the issue and the vote. We will not need Mitch's vote on the housing bill because we've got a bipartisan majority. But if we tried to move an appropriations bill, we would need every vote that we can get. It just depends.
So it really does clog things up without Mitch McConnell being there. And they also investigated the possibility that others were running Senator McConnell's office as his health visibly declined. Let's not forget, when this image was recorded by Desiree, McConnell had reportedly been in the ICU at George Washington Hospital from February 2nd to the 10th, according to a hospital source. So there's obviously some cover-up happening here. We don't know exactly what, but there's something going on. If you do know, Kenny Klippenstein is wanting to ask you some questions. You can message him at 202-510-1268. Again, that number is 202-510-1268. If you know what's going on with Mitch McConnell, please, you can tell him he's a reporter and he will keep your anonymity. But certainly, we should get the truth out there. There's definitely more to this story than we are being told. We're going to keep following this as we do all things. If you want to follow along, all you got to do is hit like. That tells YouTube you like this video and you're going to see me again. If you really want to see me again, you hit subscribe. It helps the channel and it makes sure you get this content quickly. And I'll see you soon. Bye.